LangGraph's persistence layer relies on precise connection configuration to ensure seamless interaction between the checkpointer and the underlying database. The PostgreSaver class, designed to manage state persistence, requires specific connection parameters to function correctly, particularly when handling row-based operations. We are about to examine a code snippet that demonstrates the initialization of a PostgreSaver instance, where the absence of critical connection parameters leads to a runtime error. This example will highlight the importance of proper setup, specifically focusing on the autocommit and row factory parameters, which are essential for maintaining data integrity and enabling correct row-based access patterns. This will fail with type error during checkpointer operations. With psycop, connect db URI as con. Missing autocommit equals true and row factory equals dict row. Checkpointer equals PostgresSaver con. Checkpointer, setup may not persist tables properly. Any operation that reads from database will fail with. Type error, tuple indices must be integers or slices, not str. This code demonstrates a critical configuration oversight when initializing a PostgreSQL connection for PostgreSaver. The connection is established without two essential parameters. Autocommit equals true and row factory equals dict row. The absence of autocommit equals true means database transactions won't automatically commit, potentially leaving the database in an inconsistent state after setup operations. More immediately problematic is the missing row factory equals dict row, which causes all query results to return as tuples instead of dictionaries. This triggers the type error when the code attempts to access columns by name rather than index. The PostgreSaver checkpointer expects dictionary-style row access, where columns can be referenced by their string names. Without the dict row factory, PostgreSQL returns native tuples that only support integer indexing. This is a common pain point when working with ORMs or abstraction layers that assume dictionary-style access. The error manifests during any read operation, making it a runtime rather than initialization failure. This pattern highlights why connection configuration isn't just about connectivity, but about ensuring the data format matches the consumer's expectations. In production systems, these parameters should be considered mandatory for PostgreSaver usage. While omitting autocommit might cause silent data consistency issues, the missing row factory creates immediate, visible failures. The trade-off here is between explicit configuration and framework assumptions. PostgreSQL's default tuple format is more performant but less ergonomic, while dictionary rows add slight overhead for significantly better usability. This case underscores the importance of understanding both your database driver's defaults and your framework's expectations. Let's break it down. With psycop, connect db URI as con. Missing autocommit equals true and row factory equals dict row. Establishes a PostgreSQL database connection using the connection string stored in db URI. The connection is managed as a context manager via psycop connect, ensuring proper cleanup when the block exits. Notably, the connection lacks explicit autocommit equals true and row factory equals dict row configurations, which would typically enable autocommit mode and return query results as dictionaries instead of tuples. Checkpointer equals PostgresSaver con. Creates a checkpointer instance of PostgresSaver, initialized with a database connection object con. This sets up a mechanism to save or persist state checkpoint data to a PostgreSQL database using the provided connection. Checkpointer, setup may not persist tables properly. Calls the setup method on the checkpointer object to initialize its state. The comment indicates this operation might not properly persist database tables, suggesting potential limitations in the current implementation. The core issue here is a mismatch between PostgreSQL's default behavior and LangGraph's expectations. The PostgresSaver requires dictionary-style row access, but the connection is configured with PostgreSQL's default tuple format. This creates a silent contract violation that only surfaces at runtime when the code attempts to access columns by name. The missing autocommit equals true compounds this by potentially leaving the database in an inconsistent state after setup operations. Together, these omissions highlight how connection configuration isn't just about establishing connectivity. It's about aligning the database driver's output format with the framework's assumptions. The trade-off between explicit configuration and framework assumptions becomes clear. While PostgreSQL's tuple format is more performant, it breaks the ergonomic dictionary access that PostgresSaver depends on. This case underscores why understanding both your database driver's defaults and your framework's expectations is critical for robust persistence layer implementation.
The checkpointer etches tables in moonlight, then scolds the database for forgetting its dreams.